Our next topic is development of embryo. The process of development of zygote into an embryo is known as embryogenesis, or in other words, formation of embryo with the help of zygote is known as embryogenesis. The embryo is developed at the micropylar end of the embryo sac. The growth of embryo triggers only after certain amount of endosperm is formed. That means during development of this embryo, when small amount of endosperm it will form, then development of this embryo starts. After fertilization, embryonic development begins. So this fertilization, it is the main event for the development of this embryo. Zygote divides to form two-celled proembryo. Larger cell toward micropylar end is the basal or suspensor cell, and smaller cell toward chalazal end is known as terminal or embryonal cell. The suspensor cell divides transversely in one plane and to produce filamentous suspensor of 6 to 10 cell as shown in diagram. So this is the zygote or the oospore. This oospore divide mitotically. It form two cell, that is micropylar end form suspensor initial cell and chalazal end form embryonal initial cell. Later on, this cell, suspensor cell, again divided and it form 6 to 10 cells. The suspensor cell divides transversely in one plane to produce filamentous suspensor of 6 to 10 cell. The first cell of suspensor toward the micropylar end becomes swollen and function as haustorium, and the lowermost cell of the suspensor is known as hypophysis. So in this diagram, this is haustorium and this is hypophysis. This is suspensor cell. It is divided. It form haustorium, and lowermost cell it form hypophysis. The first cell of suspensor cell toward the micropylar end becomes swollen and functions as haustorium. The lowermost cell of the suspensor cell is known as hypophysis. The suspensor cell helps in pushing the embryo in the endosperm. So this suspensor cell, it pushes the developing embryo into the endosperm. That's why this endosperm gives nourishment to the developing embryo. The embryonal initial undergoes 3 successive mitotic division to form octant cell. That is 8 cells these are formed. So this embryonal initial cell, there is mitosis takes place and there is formation of 8 cells. It is called as octant stage. The planes of divisions are right angle to each other, and the lower tier of 4 cells of the octant gives rise to hypocotyle and radicle, whereas the 4 upper tier of the cell form plumule and 1 or 2 cotyledons. The hypophysis is further division gives rise to part of radicle and root cap. Subsequently, the cells in the upper tier of octant divide in several planes so as to become heart shaped, which is then forms 2 lateral cotyledons and terminal plumule. So as shown in diagram, these octant stage or 8 cell which are formed, this later on develop into, this is globular embryo, and this is heart shaped embryo. These are the octant stage. These 8 cell, these are formed called as octant stage. This is the suspensor cell which form heart shape, and this is horseshoe shape. These are the 3 embryo, that is globular embryo, heart shape embryo, and this is horseshoe shape embryo. So in this it form, this is cotyledon, this is plumule, radicle, hypocotyl, this is suspensor cell, and it is plumule. Later on, in last diagram, radicle cover with the root cap. In radical region there is presence of coleorhiza. In shoot apex region there is formation of coleoptile. This is epiblast. Radicle form root system, while plumule form shoot system. This is plumule, it form shoot system, radicle form root system. This is fully developed embryo, that is, this is globular embryo, heart shaped embryo, and this is horseshoe shaped embryo. Then come to the seed development, seed and fruit development. Seed development, it is initiated by the process of fertilization. The integuments of the fertilized ovule persist and get transformed into seed coat of the mature seed. So you know that if you observe the structure of ovule, this ovule, it is covered with the help of integuments. In case of bitegumic ovule, there is 2 integuments, these are present. These integuments of the fertilized ovule persist or remain as it is, and it is transformed into outer covering of the seed, that is called as seed coat. Seed sometimes consist of 2 distinct covering, that is outer it is called as testa and inner is called as tegmen. So this is the structure of seed, dicot seed. This is epicotyl, this is radicle, this is hypocotyl, this is plumule with rudimentary leaves. Outer layer it is called as testa, inner layer it is called as tegmen. So this is the seed coat. The integuments which are present in the ovule, these later develop into seed coat, that is 2 layer, outer testa and inner tegmen, that is outer integument and inner integument. This radicle form root system and plumule form shoot system. This is bean seed, that is dicot seed. This is hypocotyl, radicle, these are the 2 cotyledons. This is seed coat and this is embryo. This is maize seed, that is monocot plant. This is endosperm, seed coat and fruit wall. Inner to this there is alerion layer. This is scutellum. Plumule covered with the coleoptile, radicle it is covered with coleorhiza. The nucellus in the ovule may persist in some genera like black pepper and beet, as a thin papery layer is known as perisperm. In some seeds, the food reserve in the endosperm are partially used up in the development of the embryo. Obviously, in such seeds, the endosperm remains conspicuous and fills a greater part of the seed. Thus, the resultant seed is endospermic or is also called as albuminous. Example is castor, coconut and maize. So, the nucellus in the ovule, you know that in the structure of ovule, this ovule, it consists of nucellus and embryo sac. Embryo sac, it is covered with the nucellus. So nucellus, it is a parenchymatous tissue, and in some plant this nucellus, it may persist in the genera like black pepper or beet, as a papery layer is known as perisperm. So food reserve in the endosperm is partially used up or it is consumed. It is called as endospermic seed. In some plant, this endosperm, it is partially consumed. Such seeds, these are called as endospermic seed. Example is castor, coconut and maize. In other seed, embryo absorb food reserve from the endosperm completely during its developmental stages. Thus endosperm disappears in the mature seed. The resultant seed is non-endospermic or X-albuminous seed. Example is pea and bean. So in case of dicot seeds, this endosperm, it is completely consumed, or this endosperm, it disappear at the maturity. That's why such seeds, these are called as non-endospermic seed. Example is dicot seed, it is a non-endospermic seed. Example is pea and bean. In case of monocot seeds, this endosperm, it is partially consumed and it persists. That's why such seeds, these are called as endospermic seed. Example is coconut, maize, castor, all these are the example of endospermic seeds. Next one, it is apomixis. It is the phenomenon of formation of embryo without asexual method of It is the phenomenon formation of embryo through asexual method of reproduction without formation of gamete, and act of fertilization is known as apomixis. That is formation of embryo through asexual reproduction and there is no formation of the gamete. Alternatively, it is unusual sexual reproduction where there is no meiosis and syngamy. Syngamy means that is fusion of male and female gamete. Embryo develops in the ovule and ovule develops to form seed. After fertilization, this embryo which is developed in the ovule and ovule develops to form seed. In apomixis, when a gametophyte organ or cell produces embryo like structure without fertilization is termed as apogamy. That is, gametophytic organ produces embryo like structure without fertilization, it is called as apogamy. Similarly, when the diploid sporophyte produces diploid gametophyte without undergoing meiosis is called as apospory. Example is orange and mango. So these are the two events, that is apogamy and apospory. It plays an important role in the apomixis. So apogamy means formation of embryo with the help of gametophyte without fertilization, it is called as apogamy. And when diploid sporophyte produces diploid gametophyte without undergoing meiosis is called as apospory. The main categories of apomixis are, that is, recurrent apomixis. In this type, the embryo sac generally rise either from an archisporial cell or from some part of or other part of nucellus. In diplospory, unreduced embryo sac is derived from the diploid megaspore mother cell, is known as recurrent apomixis. Example is Taraxacum. In case of apospory, the nucellar cell gives rise to apomictic embryo sac. Second one, it is non-recurrent apomixis. In this type, megaspore mother cell undergoes unusual meiotic division and diploid embryo sac is formed. Here, the embryo arises either from the egg by parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis means fruit form without fertilization. It is called as parthenogenesis, or from apogamy. Plant produced by this method are generally sterile and do not reproduce sexually. Example is Nicotiana. And third one, it is adventive embryony. In this type, embryos may develop from somatic nucellus or the integuments along with the normal zygotic embryo. It is the common in mango, orange or lemon. It gives rise to condition called as polyembryony. That is, many embryo develop within the seed. It is called as polyembryony condition. So these are the three types of apomixis, that is recurrent apomixis, non-recurrent apomixis and adventive embryony. Then next one, it is parthenocarpy. This term is coined by Knoll in 1902. It is the condition in which fruit is developed without the process of fertilization. You know that generally formation of fruit, it takes place after the process of fertilization. First of all, there is pollination takes place. Pollination, with the help of pollination there is fertilization takes place, and after fertilization there is process of fruit formation takes place, because ovary it is converted into fruit and ovule it is converted into seed. So this process it takes place after the process of fertilization. But fruit formation in parthenocarpy, fruit is developed without fertilization process. It occurs naturally in some varieties of pineapple, banana and papaya. In this plant, it seems that the placental tissue in the unfertilized ovary produces auxin. Auxin, it is a hormone. Naturally, this hormone it is produces in these fruits like pineapple, banana and papaya. It seems that the placental tissue is unfertilized ovary produces auxin, that is hormone IAA, that is indole 3 acetic acid, which is responsible for the enlargement of the ovary into the fruit. The fruit resemble the normally produced fruit, but it is seedless. So this fruit, it looks like fruit, but there is no seed, or it is a seedless fruit. That's why it is called as parthenocarpic fruit, or that process it is called as parthenocarpy. So this parthenocarpy is discovered by or coined by Knoll in 1902. So fruit form without fertilization, it is called as parthenocarpy. Next one, it is polyembryony. It is the development of more than one embryos inside the seed, and the condition is described as polyembryony. In case of poly means many, many embryo or more than one embryo, these are developed inside the seed. That condition is described as polyembryony. That is, many embryo, these are developed inside the seed. That term was coined by, or that phenomenon was noticed by Leeuwenhoek in 1719 in the seeds of Citrus genus. Citrus, it is a genus. In this orange, lemon, these are the fruits included. It is the occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed which is consequently results in the emergence of multiple seedling. So in the fruit, more than one embryo develop in the fruit. That's why there is formation of multiple seedling from that fruit. The additional embryos results from the differentiation and development of various maternal and zygotic tissue associated with the ovule of the seed. Polyembryony may be true or false depending upon whether many embryos arise in the same embryo sac or in the different embryo sac in the same ovule. So this is the diagram regarding the citrus ovule. In section showing normal and nucellar embryos. This is outer integument. This is parenchymatous tissue called as nucellus. This is normal embryo. This is nucellar embryo, and this is endosperm. This endosperm tissue nourishes this normal embryo, and these are the nucellar embryo, or more than one embryo within this seed. In adventive polyembryony, an embryo developed directly from diploid cell of nucellus and integuments as in citrus. In case of adventive polyembryony, an embryo, it is directly developed from this diploid cell of the nucellus and the integument, as example in citrus. In cleavage polyembryony, zygote proembryo sometimes divides into many parts or units. Each unit then develops into an embryo. It is called as cleavage polyembryony. Polyembryony increases chances of survival of the new plant. Nucellar adventive polyembryony is one of the great significance in the horticulture. So this is about the polyembryony, that is more than one embryo developed inside the seed. That condition, it is called as polyembryony and was noticed by Leeuwenhoek in 1719 in seeds of Citrus genus. So this is about your first chapter, that is reproduction in lower and higher plants.